Awaya tusang nagsakpagpan. Awalivunim matusang nagsakpagpan. Awaya ya 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 ya.
In April 2012, the British Museum's North American collection hosted a delegation of Inuit from the Central Arctic, organized by the Northwest Territories Literacy Council. 6 delegates made the 7,000-mile trip to the museum and spent 5 days viewing and interacting with the museum's collection of Inuit material, which numbers some 250 objects. The overall goal of the project was to have representatives from the Inuit communities engage with the collection and to collect the memories that the objects trigger. The visit to the British Museum provided Inuit the opportunity to formulate and present their own interpretation of their history and traditional skills to the wider public. These collections provide a comprehensive ethnography of the Inuit people at that period in history and are the oldest collections in the world of their type. For the Inuit delegates, this was an opportunity to awaken sleeping words which had fallen into disuse in the Inuit language through the changes their societies have experienced in the last century. For the museum, it was a chance to learn more about the collections from the people to whom they mean most. No one from the Inuit communities had ever seen the collection. In a society based on oral tradition with no written history, triggering memories, stories, songs, and sleeping language is an important part of literacy development. This project deepened our understanding of the relationship among the objects, the Inuit language, memories, stories and songs, as well as Inuit traditional skills. During the 5 days at the British Museum stores, experts and elders from the communities of Cambridge Bay and Uqauhiit were allowed not only to look at, but to handle the objects. Through this interaction with the objects, the experts and elders used their knowledge to piece together some of the language, processes, and techniques that are close to being lost. The visit was an emotional experience for the delegates. The experience of reintroducing the collections to the Inuit language for the first time in a century or more reduced many to tears.
It was really amazing to see the trees and the plants and everything, and being able to go out with just a thin sweater or a jacket, the different climate.
I thought it was really, really awesome, and I really thought that because it was such a big place, I was really expecting to find really big stores. But I had fun, going around seeing places and realizing that all the buildings are made out of brick. Going into some of the places where it's really old, and it was so awesome. I've never seen places like that, and how close everything is.
It really makes you appreciate your home,
Space.
where you come from.
One of the things that really stood out was how to get the birds. They were called kilamit out. And, they're the things you twirl and then you throw them at the birds or the ducks and they wrap around them and then they fall. The other one was the spear that sort of had these 3 prongs in the middle. That was really awesome, but at the same time, you're wondering, what did they ever use them for and that, and how did they use them, for what purposes, for what animals, and what time of the year. Those were all the things that came to my mind every time I see a tool or something that they use. I know some of them you can use year-round, some of them you use seasonally, and some of them you use, I think, in certain types of weather and stuff like that. All those things always came into mind as soon as I saw the artifacts or the items that we're looking at. And I think the biggest thing that came to mind was every time I saw the tools that they used and that were so much an essential part of their survival, how could they give up these things while it was their, survival gear? Maybe they thought what they got was a better bargain for it, maybe a knife or a pot or something else that they thought was more useful in trading with these items that were so awesome. Yeah.
Woohoo! Seeing through the eyes of people in 18-something.
Holy cow, all of these things that we saw are not seen or used anymore, not a lot of them in a way. The more information you get on them, the more we have to document for, the future generations. Not only for them, look at us, we're stumped with some of those items.
One of the most memorable items that I saw down there were the crimp shoes, because we had been looking for those for so long, and when we realized they were there, and we went down and we seen them on the first day. It was so emotional, being able to touch them and see them and smell them and look at exactly how do you think they were made, how do you think the pattern was made, what they were made from, and who wore these last, and knowing they came from Prince Albert Sound, people of the Large Bay used them in the time frame that my great-great-great-grandparents were around that area. And the other item was that spear with the with the tattoo markings, the designs on that shaft part where they alternate from one side to the other with these designs right here. Those designs on that shaft, on that harpoon, some sort of harpoon. Seeing that and looking at my great-grandmother's tattoos, photos of that and matching them, the similarities, that was really touching, like powerful to see things like that, knowing where those tools came from. The copper ulus and the copper needles, those were really significant from the stories where our elders told us how far they have to go and get copper for their tools, and the stories behind the copper hunting, how they make noise for people to find it, how they say copper sings or copper talks so you can hear them. Hivulipta.
Now night kutigilak pagait, and they can see it sticking up out of the ground, and they'll know where it is, and then they can, get some more material from it to make more tools.
The drum and the drum dance clothing were just so amazing to see. That drum is so old, like looking at it and touching it, wondering what kinds of songs and celebrations it went to, how many people use that drum and whose drum was it, how many stories were told through drum songs using that drum. It was so amazing to see a drum so well preserved for hundreds and hundreds of years.
And so well made, and it's still to be in that condition where we could barely keep our own drums in that condition in this day and age. And I think a lot of it was to do with the climate and the, the moisture in the air, the coolness of everything and that. But those drums, like you said, they were so significant for celebrations, for preserving song and dance, and also to make up song and dance from the experiences they had so that they could be remembered and learned by the other singers and dancers.
Jesus, Amen.
This is all material from the Hanbury collection.
I feel like I'm dreaming. I just got chills. Here we are starting to take a look at some of the tools that have come out. There's ulus, chisels, harpoon heads, arrowheads, needle. This is a very emotional day. Knowing that we're touching stuff that our grandparents made. It feels heavy. I assume that native copper is heavier than manufactured copper because of all the different minerals that are with it. The way that I was told, copper pushes itself out so the person could find it and use it for tools. The way I understand it, copper was considered a living being. And it sort of gives itself to you so you can use it to make tools. It's just like when we go hunting, an animal gives up its life so your family can eat and have clothing. And that's one of the things that we always tell our kids. After you go hunting and you've taken something down, you say thank you to it. So you can, for one thing that I always say when I get a muskox, I say, thank you for giving up your life so my family can eat. So it's, copper it's just like a living thing.
Neviartunungaupplutik hivanarun neanut kennekhayut nani hivattunai qangaraaluppiuaplutik nuname kanmuartariartoraangami yeah kuia haneani akeani qalriani liumannap haneani kannguyaqarvia qangaraaluppihuaraangamik tuktuhioriartorrutik kannuyartarvian
kapihiltuume unerarriartut nunaata ilangani tahamani kannuyaraaruit amigaaviaktu takuvarrimee
kannuyaraat
kanartaavakkahi
kannuyaq
kannuyan
kiviautigitaappuak
Mom, when she saw the picture of these scissors, she goes, oh, I wonder if we invented scissors too.
kiviautiniktautuppaqqaaqutik aasiliorunarrigamiginai aperiaugamikli pileoquyauplutiga aatsilioquplugit pipqartitaugamik kiviautinik pileorrimal Kimala.
small one big
Uluhukuna ai. Kimalet mikitkian.
Ihoaka kimana reuna kimalinwa. Uwang na kimalinwa. Wow, kimalinwa na kikame. Una kimalinwa duway kimalinwa.
The most important thing about this collection is that while it's been here for 160 years, nobody has really written about it or documented it properly. So when we work with native communities, with Inuit people, what we want to do is obtain really good information about that collection so that it can go up on the web so that it's accessible to anybody, not just Inuit and not just Inuit from Canada, but people from all over the world. Some of them don't. So these ones were collected by this man called Hanbury, who was a private explorer who went up to the Central Arctic a couple of times. And in his second visit in 1902, he went along the coast and he made a collection of about 60 things, beginning with the loon cap. And he stayed with people. It was in the spring and they were still out on the ice in snow houses, and he stayed with them and he took photographs of them, but we haven't found his photographs yet. Those will be the first photographs of Inuit. So today, when people have looked at the dance clothing, when they've looked at the copper knives, the panna, and they've been able to explain what the materials are, what is wolf skin and what is fawn skin from a caribou, and what is an older caribou, and what is ugruk, and what is bearded seal, and what is not bearded seal, and all of those things, and describe all the different parts of a parka, of an amauti for a woman. All of that information is hugely important, and it's a really vital opportunity to have elders here today to be able to do that. Otherwise we lose the information, and it's only by talking to people and doing this kind of project that the objects come alive.
These ones are Kangaryong mute, like numiutik ukwak, numiutik ivaktag, atungang mit pileuchimayon, hamnataw mitkoyachimayo, like natta, imaileuchogik mechochimayain. Malwin nangok tuk aqwag Uqauhiit Hivulipta Tuppaaqtauffaaqtut Uqauhiit ayuviakto oqarrimayok taipahummit iliharume taipahuktahamanitillugu ayuiqautikpagu piliortaartuugeluarkihimi taipahuk aannialermattuulleertugun
Anga takupsharegiganga shanilirauna takupsharegiganga anga ya yanga ya eyanga
nalungatsit pagtaqqut qanoq merhutika uktutika ayuiqalerapta qanoq ihumagiviu
Taima tautukpohiptiktut ihumagivara ivertit piaqpaqumlugu ivertit piaqumlugu inuitakuvaktakhaat uvaptingnuinnarli ima ilihimayaptingnik havangittugut inum aallavlu takuvagakhamik havaktitaunahorrettugut kakkijapiaqarugiatarlagu ajornarnaranu tikitpatunitjavaqa ai kakkitigu Awai tu sang sakpakpan. Awalivuni matu sang sakpakpan. Awai ya Shaninga yuling minung nakakpagkamig. Awalivuni matu sang sakpakpan. Awai ya Tama pilyak pagtay nuat katiging itatik inminot pula ka ngamik ako'y wagtugaloy hili inong nuna tay matok ako'y ngamik inya ngamik pitinik atok himay tunik ato haktanik ato limay piaktut atok himay tunangnik atok kami umituinangnik atok ahokal tuting numerahoayukto. Tay matapit ko hekaluangin. Kau yakaluamun ubagot. Tau Tuppaaqtauffaaqtut ubagot. Nahu. Kanok liok miliuna.
Kanok tau hapkot tay na kaktun.
Hapkot tay na kalyetut. Ate kakinak tukimi tuat-tukaliglo. Una tuat-tukaliuba, tuat-tukaliuba. Tuat-tukaliuba uba kat kanaitok tuat-tuk. Kitikakok. Hamunat tok, hamunay naktok imatut. Mekok himayot. Ilaging walwak. Kadli na kaling miktaok tayo taas. Kung nakakadli na kaling miktayo kukangan nitok.
We refer sleeping words to words that are not being used anymore, or you don't have the opportunity to use the words because of the modern world we live in, and we don't see or do these activities anymore. A lot of the time it's only when we're looking at traditional objects that these words come back.
Hapkot ate kako nakayugaroy hapkot. Now not harong te unakimi. Now ligaw tapon rekapon tiyo.
So now ligaw is the term for throwing your harpoon. Dam na daw ikhat.
Uqauhiit kingin.
When the opportunity arises, we wake them up and then record them and make a note of them so that we know for what reason or what opportunity these words can be used.
So depending on which tribe or community you come from, then they either say ikhat or now ligaut.
Kangariang miut hapkot numiutin ukwak tuat-tukalak Uqauhiit ukwat numiutigi paktain. Ananatema mamata ingattau miuplo ananattenilo haluhillo taipahuklo hapkot anoangutait ikpakuharaqlo higaluk anorahimayullipuksunni tautuleqpaktarri pihuaraangamik Cook River mit eqqarravialummun tahamani tahapkot ilait iqaluktuuttia puanit pihuayullu uluqqartuumiut kangeriuarmiut tikiqatigigaangamik hapkuninga aannoraanik atorrutik numerpearaalutik
Where? Ogden Bay.
They're close to this region. This kind of style.
almost Lapland
Yeah.
style.
Hamunga, mitko hamna imagine mitko hamna hamunga ay hapkunungan no ay. Ay, unahan mo ngayon na mitko no imagine ngayon.
Kakinit, Mickey Fielo. Kari ini kongnya sama yunun nakdo.
Amna tunna natiu na kewa. Hari kawa natipin na kewa tunay.
Keng nakikdo.
Iya. Natili tayo may tuwari katiya nga namin. Kaya nakita.
Haman ako na yun. Unan nga kano katutikiya ka hanitakoy lang.
They're primitive tools. The museum has theirs.
Natirtuning ito halok. Hamna aho. Kaya makitumig imalak mga kimamna.
Kailangan pera luktok.
Kipitak siya mayo na kami ay.
Kipitik kami nakagami ay. Tukto ang natin na ito. Kipitik kami nakayokam.
Tipa yung mata mami yan. Tipa yung niluilitang nakako. Tikunaw yakay. Tipa yung tulay. Over 100 years tipa yan. Tipa yan.
Nung daw yung nakhiyaw ay.
Yung daw nakhiyaw na tama.
Ako ang may tinaway.
Ako ang may.
Ako ang may tiriya kang mitag mo tayo may daw.
Kaya nga, mihi yung naktukito aki mayo nakigami ay.
Taki, ako
ang may tigwit.
Ayaw ka ma ako ang may.
Ayaw tutita ko yan.
Ayaw ka ma. Kaya may liyok Ako ang may tiwid fita. Oo nga ako ang may timan naman. Ay, mama.
Mary.
Ha?
Moonwalk now.
Unang daw numiyot. Numiyot daw unang kangariyo miyot at numiyutan. Daw itong pagtakot piksan eh. Pero ang megangamik tikiw tigangamik ikaluptut te miulo kangariyo miulo. Koklok tong miulo no na mi pihuarangamik no milerangamik hapkuning nga ano ako tik alehullo kao tigiplugit. Wow. Nagyaylo tu te kangit tu te pek tu mig
Mekho pak. No tatsa uktu tay tuming mekholi ma.
Look at their knees. Alam iya.
Ada kamang na imayo ka ukto sa puno imayo. Kanok takitidang tayo imayo.
They just measure with their hands.
Can I flip it over?
Fulani to hamna.
Una kengoa te idarin na tatuk tumai. Kengoa te idarin na ta. Kengoa te idarin. Talpanau nai.
You did ubba? No. Must be, Unitoham.
Nagyokakvin.
Nagyokakvin.
Hamna idun muvi kutinuanga hidataani hamna. You know, ima avarit kuma idun mungniamat amigai hamna idun muvi kutinuanga tuatun.
I don't understand.
So the edge won't flip.
So
in,
the edge won't slip.
curl in.
Okay.
That's why they
Interfacing.
put this one out inside. Something like kiratata.
Oh,
Kiratata.
okay, I understand.
Okay.
Could see
Bias
this.
tape mikpaluk tunay.
You know the way they sew them long ago. Sometimes the words get lost because we don't use them anymore because we don't have the opportunities to use the language, and so those words are disappearing. But when they put them into the language we understand today using the modern materials, that's when they come back.
This is sewn inside.
She just said it.
Ilun muvi kuta.
She said Ilun Muhit Kuta, and then only one she said Karatata, and then she today.
Una, this piece here, I want to see this one. Una, no.
Hum in hum.
Tuk.
Just trying to figure out which part of the
Over. Kami kawe. Uwa imay tua. Tuk. Una, no. Tay may tuk. Ikwa te idanga. That's what I was wanting about. Ikwa te idanga.
Yeah. Hanna. Katiin may hamunga. Ikwa te iranga unutuktu. Now na ito
I bet you they try to use one skin to make one park.
Hatunu kami una taman. Iluitunu na kung.
Pinnakutan una ubang kilo tunaw na ito. Una kilo ka. Kilo kang kami na ilanaw na ito. Oh no, iman na. Una pinnakutigiblo hamuna pinnaramira.
Hamuna luay.
Mikhoke may walok tahamna. Tahapuan iluan.
Hamuna.
Uqauhiit ay alla. Ubbalu ubba.
Amigay dumiglibi.
Ubba na hobig ta kun naktukimi natkang may hamuna ay. Hamna nakokho may hamuna. Kimi hamna.
Iluito hamnay.
Una. Kimi hokto hamna mekhakh may tay.
Idanga ibat koti mayon na kami ay. Koti mayon na ito. Una imaringa nuatu inman. Uwang na koti mayon na kami.
Ilang uwang may
Hamna lu'i.
It would have been fine like this, but if they took a piece out from here, it would go
to make
like
it
that to make it
shape.
shape.
Tuk amianit kakoni hamna kayo ilaktok daw himagluni hanayaw himayo kikianit daw copper. Have a hook.
Kikia verno na kikia ding. Kikia verno itu nak kuat
Have a hook.
Katinak tu. Dai ma habi katira kami gai. Iya.
Habi verno
112 years old.
That says Hudson Bay.
1900.
iglo o matakulak.
Oh, don't look the
You
Can you lay it flat?
ask him
I'll
first.
Can you lay?
hold it up this way. As you can tell, I love holding them.
Dam na titira kanok uvani.
W. Hudson Bay, presented by D. Hanbury, ESQ 1900.
Numno harotet impressment ni kablonat deine kapto. Numero ima akwang nyuta one more
Maybe you can start on that.
opponents.
Kano, no me katigi. No me katigi, dai ma, no me katigi ni. Aki itu, no me katigi. No me katigi tama.
Tara nga militam na. Duniyaw lara nga mi kanok litayaw vakchok tam na. Daw tuki maya kalawa ka tam na. Tam na numero nga mi inumog alam. Tam na ibalu.
Ani tiu midakta ko. Pekset angit rakom nuti tako ka pipikset ako.
Gotta get my camera.
Be careful, be careful.
You come.
Are you holding it?
There you go. That should be right.
I'm too small to naman. Yakuana. Guana, my dad too, and my granny. They're the good ones too from that. That's why I wanted to carry it and show it to my family, my kids. Make me feel good. Good. Something to take home. That's making me feel better. I feel good. There, I'm ready to go. Anwanga. Taima anwanga. Anwa.
Anwa ikayuta. Anwa
Konghemya.
Oh, unataw anwa.
Duck bones look like our bird. Seal claws, seal skin.
Taham, tahapa, anwam taivagai, anaro taimata taivang mag, inukutipta anaro, angata, ang pinay, anwam taivagai, koyagin na okong hang mutat, anwang mat. Una, kanong taivang na, kataivang na, kaya manginap kinuwang tahapko. Hapko, ano mga kawi mga kita.
Mga kawi mga tunga. Angat kong magkimay karututiyami. Uy, karang na nga. Time na di ka ikarututiyami. Angat ko pagkimagalwang. Takuwiyak manginap ko. Angat ko mo nipkaktaw.
Nattik or?
Nattiyo. Cookie.
I mean, Amia, Hamna. Una Hamna.
Nattiray. Nattiyo. Wit kokaktuk tahan. Hamna. Hamna ilitang naktukang mailanga. Nattiray. Nattik ugyugo maluni. Ugyugo may hapkuan ang inyang
Hat pandak to hat pandak.
Nattiyo yukli hapkuan hauni. Nattiyo blukukin. Iya.
Hapko ke meeting ping meeting.
Hauni ta. Ting miam. Iya. Ting miam hauni ta. Aku akan kerja ihawani.
Duck bones,
Duck bones and
seal claws,
Rabbit.
seal skin. I'd say maybe a ritual to go with the animals that you're around, like probably to do with the marine mammal, this one.
My brother-in-law and I have been trying to figure out how to make these.
16?
Yeah.
Unak ti takamayo gamigay.
So one of the first.
Do habak tunga. Nagiyo uming mam nagiyo ini. Uming mam nagiyo ini. Pitik sini udah kaman kopek kangam ke. Kano kada. Unak cita ko okok man mehu khima ko pektek pagai unak kang te tay matu habak tunga. Oh.
The length of the bow is 4. Right to here. It's 134.
Darba margo himayo. Imatun margo himayo. Imatun piplu ataw hamon. Imay diyo kangat ataw tumutay may didang mata. Tay may diyo kataktu kama.
Kan perekito.
Kepin na huwitaw, kepikangam taay. Iwaro panay imuraya kangap ti pero blugin imatod or kahit takawit pidak pagtawad imurayangin na pagtutama tayo madyo ka man nakiway kila tayo matama ito imay diti ka pukima kasi ka pukima kuwana
ang niyak to at inog kanawit timi piu te kapsok
Una ubunga iduito hirata ubona kagata tiki imailinga yoga meae. Una kihim idudla uewe kagata tiki akto.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I gotta go caribou hunting to get nagyuk.
Una na pinna kata himayo.
Tuktu nagyuni.
Tuktum na hiyoy. Imailinga yoga. Kipuktinga yoga meae. Kipuktinga yoga nakaminay manay.
Atak hamang nito ko na Hang nalo now na ito ay atak hamang now na
Hanap kaktitaw
Tako.
himarulungi.
Hamna ato himayo na kami mayak to hamna. Kako nga dito hamna ato himayo kami mayak to yukay. Ato himayo to kalinaw na itinayane.
Iya. Nangat ko tanin sa may hibuapi yung manang biblo. Iya.
Tahamatay may tuyo na kayo. Unan na pinakata himayo.
tuktu nagyuni.
Tuktum na hiyoy. But this is different.
Ia, una ikadukyo ko tiyawngin na miya aho alamik dahil dito ka ko
Eh, alam mo tayo takakpalayo.
Dahil
Ekarukyo tawang nam timyakyo tawang.
We're looking at these spears and we could not figure out why the spear had barbs here out in the middle. And then when somebody just a few minutes ago explained what they were for, I just realized why there's these barbs in the middle. In case they miss the bird, probably with the front part of the spear, they have a chance in the middle to catch it.
Na waktu dia awya me chudai mo gaan, na awya gamit. Kimi tukutra September ko ang doni akasing ko ang doni talpatwa.
Later on, maybe towards the fall, we're thinking they pick them. So when they pick them, the inside of the willows is not so liquidy and causes it not to warp as much.
Okay, akanganay. Now they have to do it. Kayo takpadlay with you. Ay. Ikurat tirain mata. Ikulalong mata.
oftentimes the Inuit would travel to a place where they have the willows. So I remember one of the elders often would travel to Uqauhiit area to pick up willows and then travel back to the community.
And one of the reasons why there's certain times of the year you go pick them is when they're dry. We're at Uqauhiit, so we get check out some willows. I'll probably dry this stuff up for maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, see how it is after a while. This one's got a nice, not too bad bend to it.
So when you talk about drying them, how will you dry it? Indoors?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my furnace room. I think that should be enough. I'll compare this one to a later fall one, and I'll let you know. We had about 10 participants, both male and female, that were interested to come up and try to learn how to make the cable-back traditional boats that we've seen in a museum in England. And we had about 15 maybe. And we made the wooden longbows with the braided sinew and made some arrows with the ones that I made have copper and caribou antler, as close as possible as I can make them to what we saw in England at the British Museum. I got to use it on muskox. This arrow still has the blood on it, and this arrow went into muskox. One out of caribou antler and one with copper. And on the third shot, when I was going to put the third arrow into the muskox, I heard the limb crack, so I can't really use his bow anymore. But I got to say I used it enough. Got to hit a muskox with it.
We're so thankful for partnerships, for having us go down to Britain to look at these items. It took a lot of years of planning and putting things together. NWT Literacy Council, ICRC, the museum in Britain, working so hard to get the crew from Uqauhiit, ICS, and Literacy Council, the professor from Lethbridge, getting us all down there to go through the items. I'm so thankful for all the work and support they gave us to get us there.
Awaya tu sang sakpakpan, awalivuni matu sang sakpakpan, awaya ya 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 ya. Shaninga yuling minung nakakpakamig. Awalivuni matu sang nagsakpakpan, awaya ya 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 ya.